right, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kwakadash. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who well, and salutations to you for elect that is out there pushing and laboring in this truth with wholehearted sincerity. All right, and may the blessed election be upon houses. All right, the lesson that we're going to be getting into today is going to be on, all right, watch who you're trusting, all right, in these times that we're coming into. All right, beware of who you trust in the times of Jacob's trouble. All right, that could be the title lesson right there. Beware of who you trust in the times of Jacob's trouble, because as we already know, all right, in times of Jacob's trouble, it's going to basically be like every man for themselves. All right, it's going to be like unlawlessness. All right, it's going to be like, you know, all hell break loose in this place. Okay, so, you know, that's really what this lesson's going to be on. All right, you know, Lord willing, you know, it's edifying.
And to expound on that, another thing that led to us to doing this video is, you know, me and the brother, we've been on the road. We got this little new gear that the Lord blessed us with. And yesterday I did a delivery, and I left the delivery outside, and there was a Jake walking by. And the Jake looked like he was staring at it, and, you know, I was in a funny mood, so I was like, you can have it if you want. And Jake was like, nah, that's my friend's. And I just thought to myself when I got back in the car, that won't be a statement in the times we're coming in, you know. And we'll jump right into the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 19, and it reads, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation."
And that's what, you know, the times that we're coming into. Prepare to see these things. Prepare to see, you know, your neighbor get ready to kick down your front door and put everybody in the house to death for a bottle of water.
Yep.
Right? Prepare to see that neighbor you see every morning saying hey to, good morning to, turn into a whole demon and try to push you to death for some food, for some goods, just to feed themselves. Right?
That's right.
These are times that we're getting ready to come into, times of great tribulation, times of knowing who you can and can't trust, man.
Because at the time, you know, the world's in a state of mirth. Although they see the things that are going on, you know, their eyes are still shut. So they still think that, you know, Auntie Susie down the road or little Sally down the street, that they're all buddy-buddy. But when shit hits the fan, all that shit will be forsaken, as we know. Like thus says the scriptures.
That's true, man. These people in Babylon are so comfortable and so content with the things that's going on in this place. It's too laid back and too relaxed, man. They're not being circumspect. And that's how we have to be. We have to be circumspect in these times that we're coming into, especially now. Be circumspect with your neighbors. Be circumspect with who you speak to, who's around you. Shit, even with your own family, man.
That's right.
Because these times you come into your own family, we prepare to be turning you into these devils, prepare to be trying to push you to death and whatnot, man.
Yeah, because a lot of these people out here, they don't fear the Most High. They don't fear what's to come. They fear Esau, you know, and that's going to be their own demise, you know. Esau won't be able to do nothing for them in this time. Esau going to be running into bunkers trying to save their own damn ass, and they ain't going to find them. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 10. Oh, Salakia, chapter 12, verse 10, and it reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness."
Man, we could never trust these devils, man. Just like the brother was saying, man, when all hell breaking loose, man, these devils, they're gonna be worrying about themselves. They're gonna be trying to protect themselves and their own family, right? So that's, you know, that's a good piece for people who got friends with a so-called white man, right? And these times of Jacob's trouble, you can't trust them, man. You can't trust them. You know, I saw a movie, and I recommend this movie for all brothers to watch, man. I saw Hulu. It's called American Refugee, and it's basically a Jacob's trouble movie. And personally, I feel like that's the best Jacob's trouble movie I've seen to depict Jacob's trouble, the most accurate and everything. So, long story short, what happened in the movie, it's a little spoiler, but, you know, it was a J family, right, an Israelite family, and their neighbor, they was living in the country, and their neighbor was an Edomite family, and, you know, Jacob's trouble, all hell break loose, right? The economy collapsed, it was Jacob's trouble, all hell break loose, every man for themselves. And they had people break into their houses, and he ended up going to the neighbor house to stay with them. So now they're staying in a bunker with the neighbor. The neighbor was an Edomite, right? So long story short, what the Edomite told him to do, right? He was playing all buddy like he was their friend. But long story short, he kicked him and the son out, right? The Jake and his son out. He kicked them out and tried to pop his wife, right? Try to make his wife his own wife, right? Try to put him to death and do all types of things. But that just goes to show you who you can and can't trust in these times we come into. We already know these devils are like, they have that serpent-like behavior. Right? They play, they speak smoothly, they be like they're your friend, but the whole time they're ready to stab you in the back. They're holding the knife right behind their back, so lock, y'all. They want the knife behind their back, right? So you gotta be aware of who you trust. Like Scripture says, never trust your enemy, man.
Yeah, you can't put nothing past these devils. Like the brother said, you know, they're soothsayers. You know, next thing you know, you think you buddy, and next thing you know, now you're on the ground, face down, everything else that went left.
Con.
We jumping into the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 71, and it reads, "They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
And that's what it's gonna be like in the time of Jacob's trouble. You're gonna have these martial law troops out. You're gonna have 2/3 of Jacob. You're gonna have these heathen out here, Edomite, now these niggas out here like mad men, right? Like a chicken without their head on, man, going crazy out here, putting niggas to death, trying to ravage women, doing all different types of things. That's gonna be all hell break loose, man, right? If you don't got the knowledge and wisdom and stability of these scriptures, man, and the edge of protection of Yahweh Shema Shah, then you're gonna be in a terrible case in these times that we're coming into, man.
That's right, perilous times. The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 13, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold of everyone on the hand of his neighbor."
You got it.
They shall lay in the hand of everyone on his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
You got that one.
So neighbors against neighbors, they're gonna be rising up. Like I said before, the Jake that was walking by, he thought like they were buddy, they were friends. But a lot of these people you got that are stocking up and things of that sort, they're showing their cards, they're showing how to do things, and they think like, okay, we're all on the same team. You just stock up yours and you stock up mine. But when hunger kicks up to your neighbors and you got something that you showing off, or you find you looking healthy, you not looking like you losing any weight, that food will be gone. That'll be ravished, And even if you got bullets, that's gonna run out. If you got your own strength, that's gonna run out. So that'll be their own demise. Jumping into the book of Matthew, chapter 13, chapters 12, Salakia, verse 48, and it reads, "But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples, and said, Behold my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother."
Come on, man. That's exactly the point right there, man. Because you're gonna know who you can truly trust in these times that you're coming into, man. Because your own father, your own mother, your own brother, your own sister could be ready to turn you in, could be ready to push you to death for whatever reason these times that we're coming into, man. Right? So who you could really trust is like your brothers in this truth, man. Right?
That's right.
Who is doing this? Who is like-minded individuals who's believing on the same doctrine, right? Doing the will of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Got it.
And a lot of these people in the world, they don't fear the Most High. They fear Esau. So when Esau come against them and they buck and Esau show their so-called strength or whatever, they gonna buck up and they, all that will be forsaken. All that love, loyalty that you thought was so-called held between you guys, that'll be over with. Because these people fear Esau, we fear Yahweh Shema Shah, and that's gonna be our savior. That's gonna be our rock. That's gonna be our landing plane, our landing stone.
I remember there was like a little article type thing I seen that go out, like a memo message that the Babylon sent out to people, and it was basically saying, if you notice any of your family members have any type of radicalized, behavior, right, lately, right, any type of radicalized point of views or anything like that, right, then to turn them in, or to not even turn them in, to report it to the Babylonian government so that they know, right? And that's just, like a precursor to the family turning you in, man, right? So you gotta know who you can truly trust and who you can't trust, man. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, right? Be real circumspect of even your own family, especially in these times that we are coming in.
And that's how much fear the worldly people have, that they trust in Esau, so-called, and they feel as if because Esau said something that they are helping you, So in that sense of case, don't be led to your own demise, of having your trust in these worldly people, thinking that everything's all good and lollygag. When shit hits the fan, it'll be a whole different story. Like the word says, it'll be a time like never before, man. So we could only imagine it. We could use the movie depictions, but at the end of the day, it'll be like a time that never before. It's nothing that we ever seen. So we gotta gird up our loins, stay in this truth, stay in the spirit, and stay circumspect, and things of that sort.
Shit, you said it beautifully, brother, man. Another thing too, I just want to add on, man. The only people we can really trust in these times that we're coming into is brothers in this truth, man. Like-minded individuals who believe on the doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shah, who believe completely with 100%, wholeheartedly, 100% truth and wholeheartedly on the testimony of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, man. So
the sincere Akim, man. We give a mighty shalom to you, brothers.
And you got anything else you want to pull out or anything?
That's all.
hey, you know, we're gonna wrap it up with that. All right, Lord will, you know, it was edifying to the elect of Israel. And with that being said, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are well, and sight to the hopeful elect that is out there pushing and laboring in this truth with whole heart sincerity. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
And a bubble ball.
A bubble ball.
Kwame Yashara.
Kwame Yashara.